our guy Geoff Schwartz, former Chiefs guard, took to Twitter this week to talk about the Chiefs' offensive line situation. We have videos that we'll play from Geoff earlier, but Geoff said his opinion on the Chiefs' offensive line situation. He said the Chiefs should ask Juwan Taylor to move to left tackle, stay Joe Toney at left guard, Creed at center, and right guard, you got Kingsley and Norsad vying for that, and then Wanya Morris at the right tackle spot. And then he kind of went in to talk about it with Price Carter on Twitter, is pretty much laying out that. So this one here, Price Carter said, please, God, don't let this be the plan. He said, what is the plan then? Everyone hates a plan but doesn't provide one of their own. Unless the Chiefs totally blow it up, they have Toney, Taylor, and Creed back. They drafted Kingsley high. He has to play, and Morris' best play on the field has been at right tackle, which is very true. That's he pretty much played in college. And he said, I think the Chiefs should draft a DT at 31 in a rich DT class, which look at JD's board behind him, guys. They should get a very good player here. They've invested draft picks at the O-line. Time for those guys to play, which is something that JD has said. He went on to say, Chiefs drafting another project tackle early in this draft after taking Kingsley last season is terrible drafting. They have more roster issues than just left tackle that need to be addressed in this draft. Price Carter didn't like him saying that. Then Schwartz says they've played Kingsley in 2 games, man, and Morris has started a handful of games. If you think using one of the 6 draft picks on another project tackle and not trying to develop the ones you have on the roster, that's just bad team development, dude. So Jay, this kind of echoing what you say. I don't know if it's like a NFL player thing. Guys who've played in the trenches, they just know what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff. Obviously, you guys do. But what do you make of this? We'll play some of the clips from Schwartz where he expands on this. What do you make of his plan here, of his solution to the Chiefs O-line?
I'm gonna say first, good night to Hearts and Roses. Have a good night, Hearts and Roses. Appreciate you coming in. I like his plan. I like his plan. There's a lot that I agree with on it. The Taylor to left tackle is I'm not quite on board with. I'm not quite on board with that. Not saying he can't do it. I think it would take some time. And if he's had some struggles at right tackle, put him over left tackle, it's not going to make it any better. I think you get a guy that is his profession of being, that's what he's particular for. And so I'm still on board with DJ Humphries. I am. I still believe DJ Humphries, because here's the thing. Even if let's say you give Taylor some, let's say you move him over to left tackle. Okay. You sign DJ Humphries, not going to be a whole lot of money. Taylor can still go left tackle if it doesn't work out, right? You still have that scenario. But I would say DJ Humphries, to me, because he has played at a high level at that position, makes more sense. Man, I'd love to have a conversation, man, with Geoff. But I think we're kind of on the same page with everything else he was saying, as far as like you said, Kingsley, or Morris on that side of playing guards. They could definitely do that. You even got Morris, Wanya Morris can back up DJ Humphrey still on the left side. I think you really have to find that guy, that anchor, that for sure guy that's going to be able to play left tackle. If we got a for sure guy that can play right, I like Morris played right tackle, did a great job, but we got a for sure guy on Taylor that we're playing. I'd rather go for somebody that we can get at left tackle. And I don't believe the draft is the way to go. You could probably get a guy later on, but we would put money in those guys. And like we'll show over here, we made an investment, and it hasn't quite worked out for us. But I do like the scenario of having a DJ Humphries here, a guy that's played it at a high level, who's done a great job. And if you want to address it maybe in another draft, the year after this, you can. These tackles in this draft are kind of so-so to me for what we see. And if you keep going, keep trying to go to the draft, trying to find the next best thing, next Trent Williams or Willie Rowe. I mean, it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. So I trust if we got a DJ Humphries, let him work out, get himself right, whole offseason, like Mike Boyer was sitting there saying, you keep your thumb on him. Make sure DJ Humphrey's working out with a guy, put the money into it, get himself right. Shoot, he could come and end his career here. I love to have a DJ Humphreys. If he's able to go ahead and get back from that ACL injury, love to have it. So low risk, high reward. I like that idea. Yeah, Demetrio, absolutely. So.
Yeah, and I do the whole point. What he's trying to say here is also too. It's like people just want to move on to the next project, right? Like these guys, Kingsley played 2 games at left tackle, and like you want to go back and draft another tackle in late first in the second round. I mean, what's that really going to do? I mean, it's the same kind of thing. That guy's gonna have an adjustment period, just like Kingsley did. And like he said, we only saw him in 2 games, so he never really got to see it. And obviously, they moved him to guard. But like we never got to see him actually fully develop there.
And he can still be the guy. If he's getting the work and the strength and all that, the confidence, everything he needs, he may just need a whole offseason. It may take a year for a guy to develop, get used to the speed. He's been seeing the speed against the guys, the number ones, probably playing that position. So King Suma can still be that dude. But why not go ahead and sign the way that you signed, the way it was going to look for you? When you brought a dude like DJ Humphreys in, okay? Because you still got guys that can back him up. They can still play that position. And if you wanted to do that and have, Taylor go over to left side every once in a while, check it out, you can still do that. You can do all those things. I think the right move is a DJ Humphreys here, frees you up to where you don't have to worry about another guy. You know what I'm saying? Like you actually have depth there. And you actually have a guy that's played that position at a high level, who's been a Pro Bowler. So,
and like we said before, we've expended. He mentions it here. We've expended so many draft picks on the O-line over the last few years. It's like you're going to go back and doing it again. It's bad draft. It's horrible draft. I know everyone wants to blame it on Andy Heck, but you're going to go back to the draft to draft more tackles. What are we doing here? I don't understand. There is no plan if you're doing that.
You keep beating your head over the same thing, man. There's no plan, but they can do it. They might try to hit that lick. So, they're going to bring up names for tackles and whatnot, man. I think it's just a crapshoot to me. It's not a bigger crapshoot going after DJ Humphreys, letting him get healthy and all that. It's not going to cost you a lot.
And I mean, there are guys out there in free agency wise. I mean, Cam Robinson, who played really well with Minnesota this year. I think he's only 27 years old. Those guys are going to cost money though. So, and again, fans don't want to spend money. So it's like, well, you don't want to draft another lineman in the early rounds. You don't want to spend money on one. Then what do you want here? I mean, like, what are we doing here? Yeah. Let me queue up what Geoff Schwartz expanded on this in a video today. JD sent me the video for that. Let me put that up here.
Of the NFL. Tackle the end of second round, Kingsley Suamataia. Often tackle the end of the third round or middle third round, Wanya Morris. These guys have to play. That's National Football League. When you draft guys in the first 3 rounds, they have got to play. That's how you build championship teams, how you build championship rosters, and those players have to be coached up. Andy Heck's got to get it done. Andy Reid's got to get it done. You got to be coached up. And Kingsley last season played 2 games at left tackle. Very clearly not ready for National Football League. And the Chiefs said, you know what? We're going to pull you back. We'll put Morris in. We'll find other answers. And in any other year, when you're not chasing a three-peat, Kingsley probably plays the entire season. You suck it up. You go through the growing pains, and you make it happen. But in the specific season they had last year where they're trying to win a championship, they had to make a decision to say, look, man, we can't play this guy. Mahomes is going to get killed. We're trying to win a championship. But he's played 2 games, really 2.5. He played the final game of the season. But like 2 games in his career. You're not throwing that draft pick away for a veteran, in my opinion, right now. Kingsley has to play somewhere along the offensive line. They moved him inside to guard. Feels very likely that will be his position in the National Football League. They got to get something out of Kingsley. So he has to play. So now we have 4 guys. He's the answer at left tackle. Maybe this entire offseason, I'm wrong about it. The Chiefs wanted him guard. He goes through a full offseason, and boom, he's your left tackle. But to throw him away after just 2 starts in a championship, quest, to me is really bad roster management. You asked Jawan Taylor, who's been a right tackle most of his career, can you play left tackle? We don't know if Jawan Taylor can play left tackle or not. And the goal is getting your 5 best offensive linemen on the field. That's new way of thinking, right? It's about finding the 5 guys with the least amount of weakest links. Because if you have one weak link, they can attack that Super Bowl. We saw that. But they can put a tight end and running back to help. But you go to 2 weak links, you're kind of screwed. But Morris played well at right tackle. He played well at right tackle when he filled in for Jawan Taylor against Houston. That was his position in college. If that's Morris's best position and you use a 3rd-round pick on him, put him at right tackle and say, Jawan Taylor, can you play left tackle? Now, if Jawan Taylor says, I can't do it, not a chance, then yes, you have to find a left tackle solution. But if Taylor opens offseason program with the idea of let's put him at left tackle, Morris at right tackle, Kingsley or one of the guys they drafted last year, right guard, Tootie and Creed, those guys you have on your roster. Again, I want to reiterate, would it be great if someone went to Kansas City? Yes. Let's say Cam Robinson, right? People have used him as an example. But other teams are going to want Cam Robinson too. And what are the Chiefs going to offer him? You have other holes on the roster, right? I talked about, I'll mention them again, right? So the pass rush was horrendous against the Eagles. Now, their offensive line is really good. We get that. They stopped the run really well, but you need someone to rush the passer. This is a great defensive tackle class. So follow that way for a second. Your middle linebacker most likely going to walk. I don't think the Chiefs are going to play Bolton. I'm not sure they're going to pay Reed, but you have Hicks and you have Cook. Like maybe that's a solution right there. So I don't buy the draft is the way to go here again. You drafted that guy last year. He's got to play. And again, to me, the pass rush. You need pass rush. Great defensive tackle class. Chris Jones is getting older. Get yourself a pass rusher at 31. And maybe you want to tackle it at 62, whatever, 61, whatever it's going to be, 63. I can't do math. But that's when you get that run. So let's start with the things that we know or think we know, okay? And then we'll build it out from there. One is that right guard Trey Smith is gone, okay? He's going to leave in free agency. I wish him the best of luck. I know Trey. He's a fantastic guy. Chiefs got a steal in the 6th round. He was a first-round talent. He's a 5-star kid out of Tennessee, plays a true freshman. Great football player, great guy. He's going to get paid the most money for a guard in NFL history. That's the way it works. He's the next man up, and the Chiefs are not paying him that. With the salary cap and the structures of contracts that they're going to redo some deals to get under the cap, I get that. It's all going to happen. But paying a 4th offensive lineman is bad business. It just is. And they cannot afford to pay Trey Smith. And they're going to let him walk. So $22, $23, $24 million a year for him. The franchise tag is about 25. There's reports today he's not going to be franchised. It makes no sense. No one's trading any assets for Trey Smith. Well, the Chiefs did it with Snead last season. Yes, different player, different position. Against the cap, one-time hit. It's not spread out over the years. And so Trey's gone. Tooney's back, Creed's back, and Taylor's back, okay? So that's the premise we have to work with. And the trouble that I have with talking about roster is I don't look ahead to free agency and say the Chiefs are getting so-and-so player. Of course, it would be great if, let's say, Cam Robinson was able to come to Kansas City, or Jackson, or someone else. But the truth is, guys, the Chiefs have other needs on the roster as well. They might lose a safety, a linebacker. They need another wide receiver possibly, maybe a tight end, maybe a running back. And they only have 6 draft picks. So they don't have a lot of room to work here to add to the pieces.
And like Barbershop says, you can't really disagree with a lot of the points here. I mean, outside Jawan Taylor playing left tackle, and he just merely suggesting to ask him to play left tackle.
Yeah.
I agree with him on everything here. And yeah, I mean, the premise of you know what you have in the room, right? You can't automatically think, oh, we're going to sign Cam Robinson, we're going to sign yada yada, whoever it is. You got to work with what you got, and currently those are who we have, the guys he's talking about from that structure. But I mean, what were your takeaways from that, JD?
I agree with it, and I told you where I did disagree was Jawan Taylor going to left tackle. So we wanted you wanted some type of contingency plan. DJ Humphries is that, and that's where I'm going with it. I've said that, but everything else we've talked and we discussed here, saying the exact same thing. Like I told you, the things we need, right? Talking about D-line, corners, defensive end, talking about running back, tight end, that could be covered with the Cal Pitts thing. So, what Geoff was talking about, we've said that here as well. So, we see the same thing. We see the exact same thing. There's some things that has to happen with Wanya Morris. Wanya Morris is one of the guys I was talking about to Mike Doyle about being serious about his strength and being a professional. And I'm sure, I don't know what Wanya Morris is doing, but I'm telling you, if he's hearing this, it don't even matter. Hey, man, you get you a trainer or somebody, man, you stay on top of your biz. And I guarantee Wanya Morris, he puts the time and effort and investment into what he's doing this offseason. He could be a monster in this league. Him and King Suma both. Like both those guys got to get their work in like right now, immediately right now. Okay? Because they could turn some things around. Man, sometimes it's on them. I know you were talking about, Andy Heck knows guys got to help development, but sometimes these guys got to help themselves. That's what it boils down to. And we seen before Jawan Taylor came here, he was working out heavy. Remember, we've seen him on the bags and hitting and stuff like that. Jawan Taylor got it. He understood. And guess what? He got paid. Other guys got to understand that too, man. Like, this is your livelihood. And like I said, I don't know what Wanya and those guys are doing, but I do recognize that some things he didn't do is get stronger, get stouter, things of that nature they could do. And you'll see the results on it when you put that time and the effort and dedication in. So we got the guys in the room, I think. We have them. Sure, we have them.
Yeah, I at least I think for the people who want, the brand, because I've seen people talk about getting Zach Martin or Brandon Scherf. At least we have the guys who can fill the Trey Smith void. Left tackle, I don't know. Right? Maybe DJ Humphries may be going to get one of the other veterans that were out there to spend money on left tackle. I don't know. But I know at the very least, I know we have in the room the guy who's going to replace Trey Smith in the room if we don't bring back Trey Smith. That's right. At very least, that's what I think we have. Left tackle, unknown to me, but at the very least, Trey Smith's replacement is in the room currently.
Yeah. I'm the Brown said, the trouble I have is Taylor has pre-snap issues and gets a lot of holding calls. Not sure him moving him to left would add to his. I agree with that 1,000%. That's the thing about it, because his stance is narrow just on the right side, and that's the position he plays. So that's why he was able to get up underneath him and push him. Now he's got to get his body ready for left. Man, he's had those issues. That's a whole different task you ask him to do. Especially, like I said, if you have guys that that can do the things he needs to do. Like in a Humphreys, or let's say Wanya gets stronger, or Sumate gets stronger. So this offseason is pivotal for the Chiefs to get better in the direction that they're going. And they need to reiterate to those guys, you want to be here, you want to play, you want to start, you want to have a career here, you got to put in the work to get there. And whatever you need to do necessary to do that, it's on you. It's on you. So, and we got to trust it. We got to trust it, man. I think we got enough in the middle. We got beef and stuff like that in those guys, and the interior. It's outside that we got to deal with. Bottom line, pure and simple. Pure and simple.
As far as the middle, what you have to deal with is the development, the furthering the development of the Kingsleys of the world, of the Norzads of the world. That's what you got to deal with. As far as the outside, yeah. Next year, we'll have to figure out the right tackle spot. And I think we have Wanya in the house. Wanya can be the right tackle in the future if Juwan's cut next year. But for right now, Juwan is the right side guy. And then you have to figure out the left tackle spot. But as far as beef on the inside, just develop those guys because we have those guys in-house.
Yeah. And Mike Brennan said when we brought Taylor in at first, all the talk was he was going to be our left tackle. I don't know who was talking about this. We wasn't. I know I wasn't.
Well, we had an emergency podcast to talk about that because you were getting frustrated with the amount of people who were saying that he was going to play left tackle.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. He played right tackle. This is what we paid him for. We paid him for right tackle. And like Amber Brown brings up, and as we have seen, there's still been little struggles on right tackle, on the right side. So we want to add to the struggles, the difficulty. That don't seem like a good plan, Marcus. That don't seem like a good idea. You know, that's not a good idea. So I just, yeah, everybody was saying, I'm like, who's saying bringing him in for left tackle? If that was what they needed to do at some point, man, shoot, yeah, let that at the very last instance. But you don't want to do that going in.
Do you remember when we signed Donovan Smith? There was people like saying, "Oh yeah, Donovan Smith's contingency plan if Juwan Taylor doesn't work out at left tackle." You were like, "No, Don Smith's going to play left tackle, guys."
Yo, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? So,
yeah, Mike says y'all were the only ones not saying it. It was a crazy time.
Yeah, well, we only ones knew what we was talking about too, Mike.
Yep.
So I think that's why you love us, buddy. I think that's why you love coming to us, man.
Exactly.
You make a lot of sense over here, Chief Concerns. Found like if do say so myself. Okay?
That's what we do, baby. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.